Hello, my name is Quhachi. Today I'm going to continue from where I left the other time from gradient. Today I'm talking about the shape tool, and basically I'll be talking about how to use a shape tool effectively or efficiently in Photoshop. So let's start. First of all, I'm creating a new layer, and from the new layer we want to bring out our shape tool. So you can either hit your U or go to your toolbox and go to the shape tool. Under the shape tool, the flower brings out the rectangular tool, rounded rectangular tool, elliptical tool, polygonal tool, line tool, shape tool. I would want to talk more about the custom shape tool, but then before that, let's talk about the rectangular tool. We are using the rectangular tool to make us understand how we can work in right proportions actually in Photoshop. Okay, so I'm talking about some things here. First of all, when you choose anything from this point, you realize that you have three things here. The first one is fill pixels, which means you're actually drawing and it's going to fill your pixels with your foreground color. By default is black. The next one is part, which means when you draw, you have to actually work on it from the part point. So I would actually try it. Let's try it. When I start drawing my box or anything, you realize that it just draws the outline. And when you look here in the layer panel, you realize that there's nothing in this particular box. It's empty. When you go to part, you're going to find it there. So when you find it apart, it means now you can either fill it this way, or you can decide to stroke it this way, or you can decide to actually make a selection of that place. Anything you want to do. So that's for the part and deleting it. You're not actually going to work with part anyway. And this particular one is shape layers. It means it's going to bring your part and it's going to bring your layer so that you can max it. I'm not a good fan of maxing, so I actually don't use this one anyway. We're going to work with the fill pixels. So when you choose this one, you can draw your box anyhow you want it, But you should realize that by default, these people decided, Photoshop crew, Adobe crew decided to make sure that this thing might be as a rectangle, but they make sure that it might be a perfect square. So let's make perfect squares. If you want to make a square, please hit the shift. When you hit your shift, it's going to make sure that you draw in right proportion. You are going to scale the square either up or down. So whatever I do, no matter how big, I make it still a square, perfect square. It's a square. Let me draw another one with white inside. I'm holding the shift still. Now let me not hold the shift and force myself and draw a square. Now I'll have to guess. I'm not holding the shift. I'll have to guess. Is this a square? Is this a square? Is this a square? Is this a square? I have to guess so many times before I actually get it, which will be wrong anyway, because by proportion I think this is wrong. So if you want to create good things, is actually the shift you hit. So let's use the circle or elliptical tool. I'm not going to hit the shift. This is how I'm creating my circle. It might be wrong, but then let's use the shift. Hit the shift and draw it. Now you're scaling it up. No matter how you scale it, it's going to be a perfect circle. You might think these two things are the same, but hey, in actual fact, this one is a little bit flattened than this. This one is a perfect circle. Works for all of them. I mean, whatever thing you want to do. And it's not just this. It's not just this thing. Let's use our select tool. You realize that when you're using a select tool, the borders come there, and if you hold without pressing your shift, this is what you're going to have. You're not very sure whether you're creating a square, you're drawing according to, you're pulling according to proportion or what. That's what you have. Now let's hold the shift and scale it down. you realize that it's still the same thing, just that it's becoming smaller. Yeah, it's not like I'm doing it this way, I'm doing it that way. So if you want to get perfect square or perfect whatever in right proportions, please use the shift. Let's talk about the control. Sorry, let's talk about the command or control. When you hit your command or control and you pull in other place, it means I'm actually dragging only that point. So let's try it. I'm leaving every other point, but I'm dragging only this point. So as I'm dragging only this point, it's affecting the other part. You would realize that if I bring my ruler, this part is still straight. This part is still straight, but it's here that I'm pulling. Because I'm pulling here, it's affecting this angle and this angle. Yeah, cool. So let's delete this thing. Cool. And deleting this. Send that list back. And then on a new layer, let's try and create something creative from the custom shape tool. Anything I'm going to create from the custom shape tool. Let's try and become a little bit creative from this point. So first of all, what do? We want to create anything random. So let's bring out our hat. Hat is mostly red. I'm a little bit not a very good fan of normal stuff, so let's choose blue for hat. It's quite awkward anyway. Still using my shift. Draw little hats. So many hats. Change. Let's use yellow. Yeah. All the colors. Don't worry. Big over here. Let's change again. Let's use aqua or turquoise here. Using a turquoise. Little ones. Now it's okay. Let's choose something else. Let's bring out our stars. Stars. You would realize the stars are mostly. Where the hell is my star? Realize the stars are mostly yellow, whatever. Let's make our stars red. Yeah, red stars or orange, anything. Yeah, red stars. Change color. Any color will do. Let's do it very fast. Cool. Now let's bring out our bird. Yeah, the flying bird. Let's make the bird black. Still hitting my shift. Yeah. Little birds, yeah. We are using things exclusively from Photoshop. Let's create a wonderful sun. Sun's going to be a little bit orange. Yeah, orange is going to be okay. Yeah, big sun here, somewhere here. It's cool. Let's leave it that way. I created everything from that layer. Let's make it a little bit creative. Below that layer, let's make it blue. Yeah, lighter blue. Yeah, baby blue, whatever. Sea blue. Yeah. So let's fill the place. Fill in it. Now remember from gradient what we get. So I'm going to have spectacular gradient here. Gradient tool. Sorry, with a gradient. It's going to give me this combination. I love this combination. It's cool. This layer, let's duplicate the layer, and on the first layer, let's try and blur it. We're actually using only tools, so I'm blurring this one. Let's blur it. Oh man. Yeah, so blurred. Let's blur it to this point. This point is okay. Then let's bring out the first one. So from this one, let's pull it back a little. Try to make it a little bit creative. It's not very nice. Let's make it nice. So we are going to our blending options. Double click it. Let's give it an outer glow. Give everything an outer glow. Increase the outer glow a little. decide to choose any color you want. Let's make it a little bit orange. Orange is gonna be okay. Take it down a little, increase it a little, increase the spread a little, and there we go. There we are. So oops, I made a mistake on that. So no matter what time we've created something like this, just with shapes, trying to create a little bit creative thing with Photoshop shapes. We don't want to create so many things, but in the next tutorial I'm going to use the shape tool once again to create a little more complex creative art just with what Photoshop gives us. We are not going to draw or anything, we are going to use what they give us to work. And I think that's one creative part of your work, when you're using only the things you have. So assuming you cannot draw, or you cannot have any things you want, any assets from anywhere. You don't have anything, you are not online, so you cannot download anything you want. This is one of the things you can do. So it's me once again, Quhachi. Now wanted to talk about shape and how you can scale things up and down without making mistakes when you're supposed to use your shift. When you're not supposed to use your shift, that's when you want to drag and make mistakes or anything deliberately. That's it for now. Yeah, and I would like to talk about another thing. If you hold your your space bar, it brings out the hand, which means you can actually move anywhere you want. So let's make it bigger. Sorry. See, I'm now using my space bar to go up or down, anywhere I want to go. So that's the use of a space bar. The command is for actually pulling out one point, shift for right proportion. So thank you very much. My name is Quhachi. Bye bye. No matter what you do, you're still my boo. She run the streets more than I do. Who to do? Can't talk to you cause you keep an attitude. Hit the stash, hit the gas, ain't extra bar. Looking at it ain't a loss, I make it up tomorrow. I'm hollering at my mans and them, I see y'all tomorrow. I'm out with little mama, she got